Alright folks, Pachinki's 88, we are back. Like our case on Facebook. Let's head on to the next case. Now this case was released 6 to 8 hours late, so I was not home in order to record it. I had to go to work, so this video will be up a day late. The night before Christmas on the airship. Hey, so I feel like we're living in troubled times. It transpired that the fire in Concordia was started by a police officer. Worse yet, the young officer started the fire in an attempt to destroy evidence. A disquieting development indeed, and Cole refuses to reveal who made him light that fire. But chin up, bon temps. We shall turn our minds to a more cheerful business, decorating our airship for Christmas. Oh, Christmas. Bah. I take a dim view of such childish distractions. Hey, is care to join me on a walk before Madeline enlists our help with the festivities? Ace, I confess that Christmas festivities do not make my spirit soar with enthusiasm. It's not that I'm a joyless fellow, but... Oh, thunderation. That blasted wind blew my hat away. I saw it fly towards that alleyway over there. It shan't take long to capture it, Ace. Murder Carol. Interesting. What can we find? Well, there's obviously the body. Right. So we got a bloody note. I see the newspapers, I see a spider web, I see brass knuckles, and I do see a wreath. Perfect. Very nice. No, I have not. I will soon, though. Well, I found my hat, Ace. I shall not permit the treacherous wind to... Oh, but my word, you're right. That man appears deceased. I took him for a drunk. He slumped over as he is over that barrel. But there's a wound on his skull. His life was taken by violence. And, wait. I recognize this fellow. He's Rowdy Rick, a known miscreant, habitually disturbing the peace in New Haven. I've apprehended him many a time. Rick in a fight with some of the hoodlum led to Rowdy Rick's demise? That knuckle duster suggests you were right. Revealing what's carved in the middle shall be instructive. In the bloodstained note may be something the killer lost. Fleeing the scene, young Charlie's machine should help decipher those symbols. Ace, I did not wish for this somber turn of events to halt our Christmas preparations, but work shall come before festivities. I agree. Bon temps. So 12921. Boom. Alright, so 14421. Boom. On a roll. Okay, so this is not as good. So 74221. That's probably one of the best I've done. Amazing what happens when I do it when I've been awake all day. Ace, the scribblings on that bloodstained note are numbers. Miss Holloway will know their meaning. Yes, she will. 3 hours. Sweet. Well, I'm gonna go grab some stars. I'll see you guys back here. I will have a live stream a little bit later. This has been Pachinki's 88. Au revoir. Alright folks, Pachinki's 88, we are back. Let's examine the brass knuckler. I've grabbed a bunch of stars. I'm live streaming this, so you're either going to see a picture of baby Ace in there if people are spoiling, or you'll actually see people's comments. So, Ace, I recognize the name etched into that knuckle duster. Vinny Costa is another habitual troublemaker, an Italian, giving a bad name to his fellow countrymen. Vinny must be drinking in the tavern at this hour. I propose we ask what he knows about Rowdy Rick's demise. Poco Diavolo, not the police with their flying cigar.
What is it you want? I'm just an honest man enjoying a drink after a hard day's labor. Hey Vinny, you're not done a day's labor in your life, except robbing old ladies and beating up beggars. We found your knuckle duster near Rowdy Rick's body. What do you get to say for yourself? Rowdy Rick is dead? Mamma mia, Rick was like a little brother to me. Yeah, brothers have been known to have a quarrel, Vinny. Did you have a fight with Rick? It wasn't a fight. I was teaching Rick to defend himself, Senior Trooper Ace. It's a tough life out on the streets. I did him a favor by taking him under my wing. Or so you say. Well, how about you do us a favor? We should like to inspect Rick's quarters. Do you know where he lived? Certo. In the old boarding house on Rookery Lane. Senior Trooper A shall inspect the premises. I trust you'll abstain from fighting tonight, Vinny. Yep. Let's get all your thoughts in right now, guys. Just talk, 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 talk. Once somebody spoils, boom, Baby Ace's picture goes up on there. Never feel bad for your writing, especially if English is not your first language. And see, and people have been asking this comment, you know, how do you get faster all through this? You know, I did the time trial, so I knew where everything was, so if anything was out of place, it was just easy to be able to find it right away. Well, it would definitely point to wanting to be a Christmas Carol. I mean, that's the whole, like, title. Ace, I do wonder where Rowdy Rick found the money to pay for his lodgings. But a chance that canvas sack holds the answer. What took me to inspect its contents? The crumbs on that tray might have been the victim's last meal. I shan't argue with your plan. Gather a sample. Sure. Oh man, this looks like cookies. Totally eat some cookies. Ace, cleaning that tray revealed a message. Merry Christmas, Rick. Tip-top thinking, Ace. Examining those crumbs with a microscope might lead us to the victim's well-wisher. Oh, I meant to do sack. Oh well. Alright. Where's the other one? Shoot. There it is. Nice. The crumbs in the tray in the Rick's quarters are manifestly the remains of gingerbread. We know someone gave them to Rick for Christmas, but we don't know who. Except, Ace, I know a young woman who sells gingerbread biscuits on the street. I bought some just yesterday, and she might be of some assistance. I know, I spoke dismissively of Christmas when Madeline mentioned it, but I have no objections to gingerbread. And I propose we find this cookie seller without further ado and ask her who bought gingerbread for the victim. Oh, Mr. Bontemps, you're back, and you brought a friend. Would you like more gingerbreads or a muffin? Delicacies are for another time, child. Pray tell, who else bought gingerbread for you today? Well, that would be Maggie Scrubber. She bought a full tray of gingerbread for her lodger. I bet she ain't in trouble. Leave it to us, child, and take this shilling and hurry home. Soon Trooper Ace and I shall pay Miss Scrubber a visit. I've been doing a lot in the first chapter, like a lot of getting through. Huh, there we go. Ace, those petty trinkets in the sack cannot belong to a brute like Rowdy Rick, but I see that it is a business card that took your fancy. The card reads, Mr. Bleak, moneylender and pawnbroker. Alas, this must be the who the sack's contents belong to. The poor pawn, their valuables to borrow money from Mr. Bleak, and he charges them interest that'll keep them poor and for life. But I digress. We must ascertain how our victim got a hold of Mr. Bleak's possessions. There we go. There's an Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge is back. Good evening, Miss Scrubna. We're here to... Oh, the police? Heavens, don't tell me there's another fire. Well, nothing of the sort, Miss Scrubner. We're here to ask about Rowdy Rick. I know Rick. I rent his room to him. What about it? A sordid affair, I'm afraid. We found him murdered in an alleyway. Rick murdered? Oh, may the devil choke the villain that did it. How am I to find a new tenant now? One that ain't a prostitute with headlights, or worse yet, Irish. Oh, I see. You prefer to rent your room to hoodlums that drink and fight. So long as they do it elsewhere, I don't give a diddly. Now, if you're done, I should like to sleep. Shh, me too. Me too. What's up, Scrooge? I do use a mic. Do you wish to pawn that gold monocle, sir? I'm about to close the shop, but I give you 4 shillings at 20% interest. How audacious! We're not here to pawn our possessions. We are investigating Rowdy Rick's murder. What was your association with the fellow? Rowdy Rick murdered? Blood and thunder! He worked for me. You see, customers eager to borrow money from me are often stubbornly reluctant to pay it back. I employ Rick to give such customers a little incentive. You mean you exploit the misfortunes of the poor, and you employ a thug to beat them up when they can't pay? They know the rules when they come to me, Senior Trooper Ace. And then they weep that the roof needs mending, that their clothes are threadbare, and that their children go hungry at Christmas, as if that's my fault. And now I lose my employee at the busiest time of the year, but no one has any sympathy for me. He does look like an older Jim Carrey. Totally. Ace, where have I put my book? I was going to show you. Here. The Laws and Principles of Whist, stated and explained, and is practiced illustrated on an original system by means of hands played completely through. I'm afraid I did not follow that. The title is long-winded, but this book explains the meaning of these numbers you sent me, Ace. This card is a whisk maker. Whist is a simple but ingenious game of cards, Ace. My great aunt Agatha was very fond of it. Yeah, whist is also popular with the swindlers of New Haven. Foolish young men lose their wages to sharp dealers every night in secret gambling dens. And this scorecard was found sprinkled with blood next to Rowdy Rick's body. I bet my bottom shilling you're right, Ace, and the killer played whist with the victim just before murdering him. And now we have a trump card against them. Sure. Alright, let's speed this up. Hey Ace, I'm delighted to see you. I was about to conduct a little self-experiment. I postulate that alcohol remains in the bloodstream for hours after it's consumed. I estimate this fellow had 17 glasses, but an experiment under laboratory conditions is necessary for... Hey, before you gulp down that wine in the name of science, Richard, could you perchance elaborate on this fellow's fate? Well, very well. The wound Ace noticed on the victim's skull shows he was killed by a blow to the head administered with a heavy object. A drunken brawl is a predictable end for someone nicknamed Rowdy Rick. Has the culprit left any clues on the body, Richard? Well, anatomically speaking, nothing besides 2 broken ribs, but there was this piece of paper in the victim's clenched fist, which you might find informative. The paper appears to be the torn corner of a lottery ticket. The victim evidently did not wish to part with it. Most interesting. Ace, you reckon the killer and the victim tore this lottery ticket apart in the brawl? If the killer and the victim fought over this ticket, both of them must have had a stake in the lottery. We're looking for somebody who plays. But with you on this case, Ace, the killer's luck has already run out. Ace, the law-abiding citizens of Concordia are asleep in bed, dreaming of Christmas. But Rowdy Rick never got home tonight, and he seems to have been murdered in a back alley brawl. Now, we shall find his killer, but my money's on Vinny Costa. He professed to be Rick's friend, but friendships among his kind quickly turned to strife. The victim's employer, Mr. Bleak, is a heartless Scrooge, but he held no grudge against Rick. Nor did his landlady, who... Wait, Ace? Do you hear that noise? There it is again. It seems to be originating from the fireplace. Let's see. Ace, what happened? Who are we helping? Okay, I will see you guys in chapter 2. We'll figure this out. This is Mitch Against 88. Over and out.